In this video, I'm going to list the 7 best web hosting platforms for affiliate marketing. Hello, my name is Austin Godbolt, and I create videos to help you escape the cubicle. Be sure to like, subscribe, and ring the bell if you are looking for different ways to escape the cubicle. And before I forget, if you want to know my #1 recommended way to escape the cube, click the first link in the description or go to austingodbolt.com/start. All right, so if you've watched any of my other channels, you know that I'm a huge proponent of having a self-hosted website. Now, basically what a self-hosted website is, it's basically a website. You invest heavily in a web hosting company and a domain name. The reason why affiliate marketers should have their own platform is so that you can create content, you can send people back to your content, and you can make money that way. You can make money from affiliate marketing, you can make money from ads, you can make money from selling digital products. Also, you want to have your own platform so that if you ever get kicked off of a secondary platform, or if you ever get kicked off of YouTube, for example, you still have a place that you can call home and you're not starting from scratch. And so I've put together a list of the best web hosting platforms for affiliate marketers. The first 3 or 4 are going to be basic or entry-level platforms for you to use. Basically, they are inexpensive, they don't require a lot to set up, and they're really good for beginners. The next 3 or 4 are going to be a little bit more expensive, but they're going to be more higher end. They're going to be more premium. And if you are building, let's say, a blogging site and you have 150 blogs and you're getting 100,000 page views per month, you want to look at some of these more expensive ones, because the slower the hosting or the slower the website is, the less money that you're going to make. So understand the first few that I'm going to mention are going to be for beginners. At any point, you can transfer your website to a different web hosting company, and most likely they'll do it for free. So I want to spend a couple minutes just kind of breaking down what a website consists of. This might be a little technical, but I think it's important for you to know as an affiliate marketer, and you're going to have your own self-hosted blog. When you buy web hosting, you're basically buying a hard drive space on the internet. Just like you have hard drive space on your computer or your phone, when you're buying web hosting, you're buying basically the same thing on a server or a hard drive. People will access your website via the domain name. And basically, a domain name is a human readable name. So basically, when you go to austingodbolt.com, that's for humans. Computers see the human readable name as like 192.6168. whatever. So these are all things or components of a website that you need. Most web hosting packages or web hosting companies will sell them all together, but you can buy them individually. For example, you could buy austingodbolt.com from Namecheap, but then tie it to Bluehost. Again, this is kind of technical, but this is very important for you to know when you're getting into buying web hosting and domain name. Most companies will try and get you to buy both a domain name and web hosting together so that they can make more money, which is okay, which is fine. We're all in it to make money. Anyway, so let's talk about the next layer. WordPress is the code that sits on top of your web hosting. It is a content management system or content management software, CMS, in which you are going to create content. And when you create content, basically it makes it easier for you to put together a website without you having to know coding and some of those other things. WordPress is recommended for people that are small and medium-sized businesses that don't understand coding and they just want to get their blog or their website up as fast as possible. I recommend WordPress to about 90% of the clients that I've worked with, just because they don't need anything more technical or more high level than that. And it's also cheaper and easier to set up. Without going too far into detail, WordPress basically has themes and they have plugins. Themes are the way the WordPress website looks. So if you go to austingodbolt.com, what you see is the theme. And then on top of that, or in addition, there are plugins. Plugins are basically additional functionality. So let's say I had a timer on my website. That could be a plugin that is set to a certain time that could expire. Again, so you have your web hosting, which is a hard drive, and then you put WordPress on top of that, and that enables you to quickly add websites and blog posts and web pages to make your life a little bit easier. You change the way that your website looks and feels with themes and plugins, and then you create the content. Now that I've spent a few minutes talking about the basics of web hosting and WordPress and all that good stuff, let's go ahead and take a look, in my opinion, the 7 best web hosting companies for affiliate marketing. Now, #1 is Bluehost. Now, the reason why I like Bluehost is because I believe I saw somewhere that 25% of all WordPress websites are on Bluehost. They offer free SSL currently, free domain. They offer decent support, and it powers over 2 million websites worldwide. and it's pretty fast to set up. You can go from no website to a website probably in about 45 minutes to an hour. When you're just getting started, you'll probably be on a shared hosting platform, and basically what that means is your website is going to be on the same hard drive as hundreds, if not thousands, of other people. The reason why that's important is because that can have an effect on how fast or how slow your website is, and quite honestly, it could have an impact if someone spreads a virus onto the server. That's usually unlikely to happen, but it can happen, and it does happen from time to time. So if you're just getting started, you want to be on a shared hosting plan. They're cheaper, they're faster to set up. As you add more content, as you start getting more visitors to your site, you're going to want to look at either a cloud hosting or a VPS, which is kind of outside the scope of this video, and I know that I'm getting very technical. So number one is Bluehost. Right now they offer free SSL, and you want SSL because that's the difference between HTTP / and HTTPS. If you don't have the HTTPS, it's considered less secure, and your website can suffer in the Google rankings. So you want to make sure that you have HTTPS on all of your websites. It's not mandatory yet. It doesn't cost you extra right now, but I recommend it. Number one is Bluehost. Number two is GoDaddy. The reason why I put GoDaddy here is because it's very inexpensive to get started. It's nationally recognized. They have cheap domains. You can get them for very cheap. I think 99 cents is what I saw. They have very cheap or inexpensive hosting packages for people that are just getting started. They offer 24/7 support, and again, they have fast setup. With the first three, as I mentioned, they're inexpensive and they have fast setup, which is good because if you're just getting started, you don't want to get bogged down with trying to learn another new thing. After GoDaddy, there is Hostgator. Hostgator also offers cheap hosting, cheap domains, and free domains for the first year, 24/7 support, and fast setup. Now, I have personal experience with Bluehost, GoDaddy, Hostgator, and a few other of these that I've listed. So I have a pretty good idea of what works and what doesn't work. You can find that GoDaddy is a little bit more cumbersome when you compare it to Bluehost and Hostgator with getting from the logging in all the way to your actual website. After Hostgator is SiteGround. Now, SiteGround is going to be at least 1 or 2 steps up from the first 3 that I mentioned because it's a little bit more expensive, but it's a better service. They have managed they have managed WordPress hosting, so they take care of some of the stuff in the backside that you don't have to, so that you don't have to worry about it. Again, it's a little bit more expensive, but this is it'll be worth it if you're having consistent traffic to your site. They do free website transfers. They offer website building. It's very secure, which is something that not necessarily Hostgator, GoDaddy, or Bluehost can say, because you have to think about it. The cheaper the service, the more people that are going to be on the platform. If there are a lot of people on the platform, obviously there are bad actors or people that are trying to lie, steal, and steal. And so it's very possible from time to time that you can run into these issues. With SiteGround, because it's more secure, your website's naturally going to be faster because there are less people on the platform. It's managed WordPress hosting, and they even offer a little bit of cloud integration as well. The other thing you have to realize that as the hosting becomes more expensive, they're using more advanced technology. For example, with Bluehost, Hostgator, and GoDaddy, they're probably using older model servers, which they're upgrading over time very slowly. And so the older servers are going to have older technology, and they're not going to be as fast or as efficient as some of the newer things. With SiteGround, WP Engine, and NameHero, which I'm going to mention, they're using the newest technology, whether it's cloud-based computing or they're using the newest servers that have the newest technology, that take advantage of the newest technology and can send and receive information on your website much faster. So after SiteGround, we have WP Engine. It's another managed hosting platform. It is very fast, and they actually include premium WordPress themes. The one thing that I didn't mention about WordPress themes is there are free and paid themes. If you pay for a paid theme, also called a premium theme, you'll get additional functionality. The code, quite honestly, is written a little bit better, a little bit more linear, and these are all things that you want to consider if you're just starting out with a website. In my personal opinion, it is worth it to invest in a premium theme versus going with a free one. You could probably spend between $49.99 and $99.99 and find a quality WordPress theme that will work for your affiliate marketing site. But with the with WP Engine, they include a number of premium themes to help you get started. Number 6 is NameHero. And one of the good things about NameHero is it's relatively unknown, but they do a good balance between offering very fast, very up-to-date servers, modern servers. They use something called Lightspeed on all of their servers. They also offer cloud-based hosting. And so cloud-based is pretty cool because it actually makes your website faster. They also use a CDN, a content delivery network. Basically what that means is they put pieces of your website all over the world, and when people access your website, they can actually access your website faster because at least a part of it is already built in. It's already there. Again, the great thing about NameHero, cloud-based hosting, it's very fast, and they start off with inexpensive plans, but those inexpensive plans are going to be on shared hosting. As you invest more money, you can get a VPS or a virtual private server. And then actually the absolute best one, and I saved this for last because most people aren't even going to be able to take advantage of this. AWS, Amazon Web Services, is probably the best bang for your buck. The reason for that is AWS basically controls somewhere between 25 and 50% of the internet. You have a CDN included. It's actually very easy to set up, and you can install WordPress on top of it. Some of the benefits of having these other hosting platforms is they'll be able to set you up with like email. They'll give you a backend. They'll give you access to a cPanel. You don't have access to any of that stuff automatically with AWS, but AWS is super fast. It's probably cheaper than a lot of these, but you have to know a little bit more about web development and web design in order to take advantage of it. Again, AWS controls about somewhere between 25 and 50% of the internet. And so naturally, if you're controlling the paths, your paths are going to be a little bit faster versus using some of these other pieces of software. But just to reiterate, the 7 that I would recommend are Bluehost, which there will be a link in the description, GoDaddy, Hostgator, SiteGround, WP Engine, NameHero, and Amazon Web Services or AWS. If you like the challenge of setting up websites, I definitely recommend AWS if you can. If you have some extra time, because it will take a little bit more extra time to get that set up. If you want to know my #1 recommended way to escape the cubicle, click the first link in the description or go to alstongodbold.com/start. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Before I forget, I do want to inform you that some of the links that you will see in your description are affiliate links, and I do and can receive a commission if you click on those links and purchase a product.